What's good, guys? We had an amazing weekend, guys. Lerone Murphy versus Edson Barbosa. I made the pick, flip to pick Lerone Murphy last minute predictions. Edson Barbosa put up a good fight, but he ended up getting 50-45, 49-46. Great fight. We had Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Amazing fight. Fight goes the distance. Minus 200. Hit. Cashed out. Let's get it, guys. We had an amazing fight. Amazing weekend of fights. Now we have the early predictions for UFC 302. We're going to break down the entire card. Dustin Poirier versus Islam Makhachev. Starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event of the evening. We're going to break down the entire fight. This card is stacked, man. We're blessed, man. All of June, we are blessed, man. June, July. June, we got UFC 302, International Fight Week. UFC 303, Michael Chandler versus McGregor. Hamza Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. We're in for a treat, guys. Like, this is one of the best fight months. Like, every year, June, July, August are the best fight months, sorry. We had a lot of fights that were rescheduled. Tyson Tara, Joshua Van, fighters rebooked, but they have different opponents. They will fight each other eventually. Jeremiah Wells versus Niko Price is now on the card. It was canceled, but now we have Niko Price versus Alex Morono, which is even more exciting. Roman Elizeu versus Anthony Hernandez canceled. And this is rebooked. Jailton Almeida versus Alexander Volkov. We're going to start off with the first prelim of the night. Here we go. André Lima versus Nyamjargal. Tumendemberel. Okay, so these are very tricky names, so don't judge me on that. Last time we had a guy say this guy can't pronounce the names, I'm done. But guess what? I went 8-4 in my last prediction video. I have a 70% prediction rate, so let's get it. André Lima, who got bit by that guy. What was his name? Igor Severiano. He got a DQ. That guy Igor is an idiot, bro. He just bit André Lima because he was frustrated. André Lima has a little bit of hands on his he's very fundamentally sound. He has very good hands, very good boxing, but I was going to say he has a lot to deal with his opponent. His opponent, Art of the Knockout, I'm going to call him, from Mongolia. He is undefeated. They are both 8-0. This is going to be a great fight to start off the prelims, and somebody's going to get their first loss. 26 years old to 25, flyweight division, 5'7" to 5'7", 71-inch reach to 67. Guys, give me André Lima for this pick, just because André Lima from Brazil, he always has the hat on. I can see him winning in UFC 302 by decision, and I can see him completely dominating his opponent from top to bottom. In the wrestling exchanges, scrambling, keeping this fight up. He did very good with his takedown defense against Igor, and his win streak is very impressive. I know this is going to be his second fight in the UFC, but give me André Lima to win this by decision. He might knock him out, but I got him by decision, 29-28. These are early predictions, guys. So we have UFC 302, not this week, next week. Next fight, we got Niko Price versus Alex Morono. It's actually crazy how this is the second fight of the card. Niko Price versus Alex Morono. Niko Price got knocked out to Robbie Lawler 9 months ago, and he got knocked out by Phil Rowe, so he's a little bit chinny. These guys are both questionable with their chins. Alex Morono has gotten knocked out by he didn't get knocked out by Joaquin Buckley, which is actually pretty good. He lost by decision, and he got knocked out by Santiago Ponzinibbio with a KO, overhand right. Niko Price, the hybrid, has a record of 15-7-0. Alex Morono has a record of 24-9-0. Niko Price is 3 losses, 1 win, and 1 no contest in his last 5. His opponent, Alex Morono, is 3-2, 3 wins and 2 losses in his last 5. This is United States versus United States, Texas versus Florida, 34-33, welterweight division, 6-0 to 5'11", 76-72. Somebody's getting knocked out this fight. Hit the under 2.5. Guys, if we look at the odds for this fight, the odds aren't up yet, but a lot of people have Alex Morono to win this by decision. I think somebody gets hurt this fight. I don't know if somebody gets finished, but I know somebody's going to get hurt. I know Niko Price is a beast when it comes to the ground. I just feel like he's inconsistent and he's a little bit chinny. Give me Alex Morono to win by decision. But I think Alex Morono can knock him out if he actually puts the pressure. But he cannot risk himself getting knocked out. So give me Alex Morono, the great white, to win. Even though he did not look good in his last fight against Court McGee, he looks like he's on the decline a little bit. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go Alex Morono, but it's a very low confidence pick. Very low confidence. Somebody's going to... Whoever just demonstrates power first is going to win that fight. Next fight I got Alex Morono win by decision, 30-27. Roman Kopylov versus Cesar Almeida, the third fight of the prelims. This is how you know UFC 302 is stacked, bro. Roman Kopylov lost to Anthony Hernandez by submission, rear naked choke. No shame in that. That was 2 months ago. Prior to that, he was on a 4-fight win streak, even longer than that. But he's fairly new to the UFC as well. You know, Roman Kopylov is a guy who he lost to Anthony Hernandez, but there's no shame in that. These guys were both top contenders, and they still will be in the middleweight division. Cesar Almeida is a beast. They are very, very high on Cesar Almeida. Cesar Almeida fought on Contender Series against Lucas Fernando, and then he just made his debut 1 month, 1 week, and 2 days ago against Dylan Budka. He KO'd Dylan Budka. It's crazy how hard they're pushing Cesar Almeida. They pushed him right into the dogs. They pushed Cesar Almeida against Roman Kopylov. This guy's from Russia, 33 years old, 185, 6'0", 75-inch reach. His opponent, Cesar, 36 years old, 185, 6'1", 74-inch reach. Excuse my runny nose. Guys, I have Roman Kopylov to win this fight by decision. I think Roman Kopylov is better all around when he gets to the ground. Other than if Roman Kopylov decides to strike with him, that's when Cesar Almeida has a chance to KO him. The nuclear option is always there, but in his last fight against Dylan Budka, he was getting a little bit taken down. And I think it's too early for Cesar Almeida. I think they're rushing him way too hard. If you have Cesar Almeida, you have him by KO. But I got Roman Kopylov, and I think he's gonna just put on a masterclass against him. And I honestly think this goes. I think he might finish him. I think he might be able to finish him. I'm not sure if it's by KO or submission, but I know he can finish him probably 3rd round. But it's crazy because Cesar Almeida literally just made his USA debut 1 month ago. Tapology has Cesar Almeida by 63 by KO, 34 by decision, and a lot of people have Roman Kopylov to win by KO, and some people by decision. Nobody has Kopylov by submission. I'm throwing a little bit of a haymaker there, thinking that he might pull off a sub. I just have to see. Just because he lost to Anthony Hernandez, I know he's been training on the ground. I'm going to go sub. I'm just throwing a little bit of a haymaker there, but most likely he's going to finish him by KO. Give me Roman Kopylov to win this fight. Next fight, boys, we got Phil Rowe versus Jake Matthews from New York, New Jersey, Newark. Well, this is actually where the place is taking place, sorry. Phil Rowe versus Jake Matthews. We have Phil Rowe with a record of 10-4-0. Jake Matthews with a record of 19-7-0. Sorry about that, boys. Phil Rowe has lost he's lost 2 out of his last 5. One against Orion Karski, Jason Witt, and Niko Price by KO. Jake Matthews has 2 wins in his last 5 against André Fiallo, who's no longer in the UFC, who just got knocked out last weekend, and Darius Flowers, who he submitted Darius Flowers. He lost to Michael Morales, no shame in that because Michael Morales is 15-0. And here we have 33 years old, 29 years old. The odds aren't up yet. Welterweight division 6'3 to 5'11, 80 to 72. Guys, majority of Tapology has Jake Matthews to win by decision. You know this fight's going over 2.5. This fight is definitely going the distance. Guys, Jake Matthews is a guy who can win decisions. But so is Philip Rowe. Philip Rowe can KO you or he can win a decision. We have to pay attention to his losses to Gabe Green and his losses to Neil Magny. He's lost both of them by decision. And Jake Matthews' losses are by decision as well. And submission by Sheen Brady, which is no shame in that. Guys, Phil Rowe is a beast. I think he's fundamentally very good. He's a better striker. And I think he's going to keep Jake Matthews on the outside. And I think he's going to give Jake Matthews a long night. Give me Phil Rowe to win this by decision. 29-28. He probably gets hurt in the first round. Jake Matthews starts off pretty good. He's very smooth when he's in his element. But give me Phil Rowe to win this fight by unanimous decision. I don't know what the scorecards are going to be, probably 29-28, but I got Phil Rowe to win that by decision. I know a lot of people are very high on Jake Matthews, but it's just I feel like Jake Matthews is more on the decline than he is on his uprise. And Phil Rowe still has a little bit left in him, a little bit more wins left in him. So does Jake Matthews. It's going to be a very good fight. I got Phil Rowe for that one. Prelims, we got Grant Dawson versus Joe Solecki. In my video on UFC 304, I said Joe Solecki should fight Paddy Pimblett, but Joe Solecki is actually fighting Grant Dawson, so it's a better fight. And Paddy Pimblett's fighting Bobby Green. My nose is super runny. Grant Dawson versus Joe Solecki. Great fight. Grant Dawson with a record of 20 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. His opponent, Joe Solecki, has a record of 13-4-0. Grant Dawson lost his last fight to Bobby Green by KO. It was a fight night 7 months ago. Prior to that, he beat Damir Ismagulov, he beat Mark Madsen, and Jared Gordon, which is crazy. Went to draw with Ricky Glenn, majority decision. And which is actually crazy that he got knocked out of Bobby Green because nobody expected that. Some people got it and cashed out, but I did not expect that. Joe Solecki lost his last fight to Jakar Close by slam. He beat Carl Deaton and Alex De Silva by decision. Lost to Jared Gordon by decision split. And I believe Grant Dawson, yeah, he beat Jared Gordon. He submitted him. MMA math doesn't always work, but let's break it down. Coconut Creek, Florida. He trains with Dustin Poirier, who is also fighting on the main event of this card. 30 years old to 30. Lightweight division, 5'10 to 5'9, 72-inch reach to 70. Guys, give me Grant Dawson to win this by unanimous decision. I know this is going to be a massive majority pick. Massive. All of Tapology is on Grant Dawson to win this by decision. A lot of people have him. Some people have him by submission, but nobody has him by KO. Only 3% of people have him by KO. Joe Solecki absolutely sucks. Give me Grant Dawson to win this by decision. 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. Grant Dawson is going to be a big favorite, so if you're going to get him right now. Excuse my dogs. Next fight, we got Mickey Gall versus Bassil Hafez. Mickey Gall is a beast, man. We look at Mickey Gall. Well, he's not. A lot of people were very high on him, but he's more on the skid than he is on the incline. Bassil Hafez is a guy who's 8-4-1. His opponent, Mickey Gall, has a record of 7-5-0. Mickey Gall has lost to Mike Malott, who recently got fraud checked by Neil Magny, and Alex Morono by decision. And he beat Jordan Williams and lost to Mike Perry, which is crazy because Mickey Gall has been very inactive. He hasn't been in a fight in 2 years and 1 month. And of course, he's fighting on UFC 302. Why is Mickey Gall on UFC 302? What a disgrace to UFC pay-per-view. Just kidding. Now we have Bassil Hafez, who is 32 years old, welterweight division, 5'11", 72. Guys, give me Hafez, bro. Mickey Gall fucking sucks, bro. That is a disgrace that he's on UFC 302, bro. I'm not even joking, bro. Give me Hafez to finish him. Give me Hafez to finish this guy who's 7-5. Cut him from the UFC after he loses. Mickey Gall has a lot of respect. I saw him fight Mike Perry, but he just sucks, man. Mickey Gall looks like he doesn't train at all. Give me Hafez to KO him. I'm going with Tapology. I hate picking Tapology. You know what? Not KO. Not KO. Watch this be a boring decision. Give me Hafez to win this by decision. Give me Hafez. Grant Dawson has more of a chance of finishing. I shouldn't say that because Mickey Gall's chin is very questionable. But Hafez has a chance. Let me say that he has more of a chance of finishing his opponent than Grant Dawson does. But give me Hafez to win this by decision. Unanimous. 29-28. And I'm not just saying 29-28 every single fight. I actually think that these first fights, other than the Roman Kopylov, maybe they go to the distance. We have Joselyne Edwards versus Ailin Perez. Guys, Joselyne Edwards lost her last fight to Nora Caroline, but she beat Lucy Palilova, and she beat Jae Yem Kim, and she beat Romana Pascal by decision split, and then she lost to Jessica Rose Clark by decision. So if she loses, it's by decision. If she wins, it's by decision. Decision merchant. Ailin Perez lost to Stephanie Egger by submission. She beat Roman by KO, Stephanie by KO, and Ashleen Evans-Smith by decision, and Lucy Padilova by decision unanimous. Guys, this fight is very interesting because these girls had a little bit of a backstage brawl. Ailin Perez went and said in an interview, she explained why she had a black eye prior to her fight against Lucy. And she said that Joselyne Edwards punched her in the face because they had a little bit of a disagreement. So this is why this fight is made, and it's a banger fight, man. I think that Joselyne Edwards needs to pay for what she did. You know, she just punched Ailin Perez. I don't know the full story, but it seems like it was a sucker punch. She just punched her because she just didn't like her. Joselyne Edwards is a girl who looks like she has a temper issue, like a temper tantrum issue. Like she has a bad temper. But give me Ailin Perez, and I'm not biased. You know, I'm not biased just because she twerks after every fight. Give me Ailin Perez to win this by decision split. I think this actually goes split decision, bro. Every single one of Joselyne Edwards' fights are close, bro. They're close as shit. Against Jessica Rose Clark, Roman, split. and then decision, bro. They are so close. Every single one of every single one of Edwards' fights are close. You know this fight goes to decision. I'm going with the majority of Tapology, and I hate to agree with Tapology because sometimes, a big favorite or a favorite can get completely wiped out. But we had Demopoulos win last weekend, and majority of Tapology picked her. So Tapology is usually on the right side of things. Give me Ailin Perez to win this by decision. 29-28, 29-28, split decision. Split. I think this actually goes the distance. Main card time, Kevin Holland versus Michał Oleksiejczuk. Michał Oleksiejczuk just lost to submission. He was a sacrificial lamb to Michał Pereira. He also lost to Kyle Barallo by submission. This guy just loses by submission. Sam Alvey, he beat by KO. He beat Cody Brundage, and he beat Chidi Njokuani. Kevin Holland, the Trailblazer, lost to Jack Della Maddalena, split decision. And he lost to Michael Page by decision. He lost to Stephen Thompson by KO, which is actually kind of crazy. And beat Santiago Ponzinibbio and beat Michael Chiesa. They rushed to put Kevin Holland on this card because it's UFC 302 in Newark, New Jersey. You have to have a boss like Kevin Holland on the main card to hype up the fans and get everybody hyped up. Let's break it down. Kevin Holland with a record of 25-11-0. Michał Oleksiejczuk with a record of 19-7-0. 31 years old for Kevin Holland. 29 years old for his opponent. Welterweight division, 6'3" to 6'0", 81-74. Guys, I love the Trailblazer. I knew he was going to lose to Michael Venom Page. He was a favorite against Michael Venom Page. I know a lot of people might not be on the Kevin Holland side, or they might be on the Kevin Holland side because, you never know what you're going to get with Kevin Holland. But I'm going Kevin Holland inside the distance, club and sub, or he might just KO him. I got Kevin Holland to finish him inside the distance. I don't know what round. I just have Kevin Holland to finish him inside the distance. It's either KO or submission. We know Kevin Holland submitted Tim the Dirty Bird Means. He also did good against Alex Cowboy Oliveira. So give me Trailblazer, but Trailblazer is not consistent. He's not consistent. He wins, loses, wins, loses, loses, wins, loses. He's very not consistent, and a guy like Michał Oleksiejczuk is a great dog and a guy who can definitely put Kevin Holland on notice and definitely rise up the rankings if he beats Kevin Holland. But I got Kevin Holland just because of the nuclear option and because Kevin Holland is moving up in weight. This is back at middleweight. This is not at 170. This is all the way back up at middleweight. I think Kevin Holland will be replenished, and I think he fights better at middleweight. So give me Kevin Holland inside the distance, preferably KO to win. I just want to see what Tapology has. No predictions has been made for Tapology yet, even though I know the majority are going to be on Kevin Holland. Give me Kevin Holland to win inside the distance. Next fight, we got Randy Brown versus Zaleski. Elizeu Zaleski, to be exact. Randy Rude Boy Brown with a record of 18-5-0. His opponent, Zaleski, with a record of 24-7-1. This is a great fight, man. Randy Brown lost 1 out of his last 5 to Jack Della Maddalena by submission, rear naked choke. He won his other 4. Chaos Williams, which is a very good win right now, has aged very good because Chaos Williams just knocked out Carlson Harris. I was wrong on that pick. Francisco Trinaldo, he beat, and then he lost to Jack Della, and then he beat Wellington Turman and Muslim Solikov by KO, which is a very good win. 3 months ago he KO'd him. And he's from Queens, New York. You gotta rep New York, especially if you're from New Jersey, not too far. You don't have to go too far. You're in, just one state away. He should have the home advantage. The hometown crowd should be on his side. Zaleski's a guy who is gonna put up a dogfight with a record of 24-7-0. His last fight to Renat was a majority draw, which is crazy because Renat Fadikov is very good, bro. He's very good. He beat Abu Bakr Nurmagomedov by decision split. God damn. And then he beat Benoit Saint Denis. This is the guy who beat Benoit Saint Denis, who had Benoit Saint Denis on skates, but it was 2 years and 6 months ago. And then he lost to Muslim Salikov, who Randy Brown just KO'd. And he beat Alex. I'm not even going to pronounce these names. Koncheko. Bro, what the fuck, bro? Holy shit, these names are hard. 33 years old to 37, 6'3 to 5'11, 78 to 73. Guys, give me Randy Brown. I think this fight goes the distance. I'm definitely going to be cashing the over 2.5. It's just Randy Brown is a little bit more better. He's more consistent. He's more well-rounded. When it goes to cage control, when it goes to cutting off the distance, Randy Brown is a little bit better. Zaleski has that power and that nuclear option, so you can see what they're doing by putting these two guys on the main card. They want to have a brawl, a barn burner. This fight is going to be very, very exciting. It's going to be, here, there, here, there. They're going to be changing, they're going to be exchanging, and they're going to be the fight's going to sway into different positions. And I think that at the end of the fight, Randy Brown is going to take this fight to decision. He might drop Zaleski. Zaleski's always in a barn burner. He's always in a dogfight. And I think Randy Rude Boy Brown can win this. I'm not going to go by KO. You know what? Let's go KO. I think Randy Rude Boy Brown can KO Zaleski. Give me Randy Rude Boy Brown by KO. Give me him to KO him inside the distance. Give me around the... I don't know. I don't think Randy Brown KOs him. I actually don't. I actually honestly believe that this actually goes the distance, and I'd rather take the over 2.5. I'm not trusting Randy Rude Boy Brown to KO Zaleski. Zaleski's a dog. He has an awesome chin, and I think this goes the distance, and I think Randy Brown actually wins this by decision. So I'm not going Randy Brown by KO. I'm going Randy Brown by unanimous decision. It might even be split, but give me Randy Rude Boy Brown to win every single round against Zaleski. 30-27. My eye. Alright, next fight, third fight of the main card. Jailton Almeida versus Alexandr Romanov. This fight is a great fight. Jailton Almeida recently lost to Curtis Blades, who is now fighting Tom Aspinall because Cyril Gane is a little wussy and wanted to go make a movie. Jailton Almeida versus Alexandr Romanov. It's a great fight. Jailton Almeida has a record of 20 wins, 3 losses, and 0 draws. His opponent, Alexandr Romanov, has a record of 17 wins, 2 losses, and 0 draws. His losses are to Marcin Tybura and to Alexander Volkov, which is actually very, very interesting because he did not look in shape against Tybura. Sometimes he shows up in shape and sometimes he doesn't. We got to see. Jailton Almeida always shows up in shape. Lost to Curtis Blades but had a very good win streak. But prior to that, he was a favorite against Curtis Blades. And Curtis Blades beat him and KO'd him because of a lazy takedown. 32 years old to 33. This is going to be taking place in the heavyweight division. But realize that Jailton Almeida is only 241 pounds and Romanov is 265. He will be the heavier fighter in the cage. 6'3 to 6'2, 79-inch reach to 75. Guys, are we making the same mistake again where we choose Jailton Almeida, a favorite, and then he gets fraud checked? Yes, I am making that exact same mistake. I'm going Jailton Almeida to win this and grapple Alexandr Romanov. If Marcin Tybura can beat you by decision and mix in a little bit of takedowns, I know Marcin Tybura, he wasn't in shape against him in that fight. But Romanov also KO'd him from punches from the back. He controlled him from the back. And Alexandr Romanov is a guy who's mainly a grappler. He's going to be shooting on Jailton Almeida. And I think Jailton Almeida is the better grappler, better at transitioning, better at going from half guard to full mount, better at going from full mount to side control. He's way better overall. And the only thing that is bad about him is his lazy takedowns. But a guy like Curtis Blades can definitely capitalize on it like he did. But I don't think a guy like Alexandr Romanov is going to be able to stop those blast double legs, bro. I think Jailton Almeida can shoot for days. This is only a 15-minute fight. He went 5 rounds against Eric Lewis. He was just laying down on top of him. He has amazing top control. It's just that his entries are what can get him caught. Other than that, Jailton Almeida's way better striker. That's arguable. Maybe he's not a better striker, but he's a better grappler, better overall, and more well-rounded. Give me Jailton Almeida to win this by decision. I don't think he subs Alexandr Romanov, and I think Alexandr Romanov is a beast, man. No discredit to him. Give me Jailton Almeida to win this by decision, 29-28. I think he loses the second round because, Alexandr Romanov is not a guy who's just going to, let you get on top of him. He's going to try to, squirm out, but I got Jailton Almeida to win this by decision after a hard 15-minute fought battle. 11% of Tapology has Romanov to win by KO. 27% have to win by decision. And 58% of the Tapology has him to win by submission. I don't think he's going to be able to submit him. A lot of people are very high on Jailton Almeida. I'm not making that same mistake again. Just give me the money line, Jailton Almeida. If he loses, he loses. Co-main events. Holy shit. Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa, bro. Paulo Costa, I heard that you didn't even sign this fight yet, bro. I heard you didn't even sign the contract. What the hell's going on, man? Paulo Costa, I'm not going to believe that you're taking this fight until I see you in the cage, buddy. I know a lot of people say that. I know he's going to show up to this fight. Paulo Costa is very underrated. I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, this guy just pulls out. This guy lost to Marvin Vettori. This guy, man, he's very funny. Very underrated. Very funny Twitter page. Shane Strickland, former UFC middleweight champion. Let's break him down. Paulo Costa, the Eraser, with a record of 14-3-0. Surprising when I saw the record 14-3-0. I was like, how does he only have 3 losses and he's been in the UFC for so long? Oh, because he takes at least a year before he fights in between each one of his fights. Shane Strickland, very active fighter. He wanted the immediate rematch against DDP. Arguably, I thought he won that fight against DDP, but you can give 2, 3, and 4 to DDP. And maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the arguable was the 5th round. The 5th round was very questionable. Shane Strickland messed up when he let DDP cut him. I don't know if it was a head clash, but he ended up getting cut, and the blood ended up going in his eye, and he wasn't able to see as well, but he looked very good the first 3 rounds. Strickland was just jabbing DDP at range, jabbing him, checking the leg kicks. He got caught with a little bit of head kicks here and there, but he looked very good against DDP. No shame in losing to DDP by split decision. DDP will now fight Israel Adesanya. Shane Strickland just got tossed away, and now he has to fight all the way from the beginning, from contendership. And he starts off with Paulo Costa, the Eraser. Paulo Costa, his 3 losses come to Israel Adesanya by KO, Marvin Vettori by decision, who he showed up very heavy in that fight, and Robert Whittaker by decision. If Paulo Costa, you loses, guys, is this 5 rounds? This is 5 rounds, right? Yep, this is 5 rounds. This is 5 rounds. This is massive. The fact that this is 5 rounds is massive. I'm going to be taking the over 3.5 in this fight. Shane Strickland lost to Jared Cannonier by decision, but prior to that, he lost to Alex Politon Pereira, and he's beat Nasruddin Imavov, Abus, and Israel Adesanya. He had a very good run to the title. 33 years old for Strickland, 33 years old for Paulo Costa, same exact age, middleweight division, 6'1" to 6'1", 76 inch reach to 72. Paulo Costa has like T-Rex arms, but the fact that he has T-Rex arms means that he can wind up the hooks faster and go way better. Guys, a guy like Paulo Costa is a guy who's going to be waiting, can throw away the first round, can throw away the second round, can throw away the third round, and then a spinning wheel kick comes out of nowhere and he drops Strickland, and he's taking over the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And it's a guy like Paulo Costa who you have to be afraid of because you never know what type of Paulo Costa you're going to get. Against Robert Whittaker, he showed up against Robert Whittaker. He pulled out against Hamzat. He beat Luke Rockhold by decision, expected. Marvin Vettori, he showed up very heavy for that fight, but he put up a great performance and lost by decision. Israel Adesanya, he lost by KO, but he showed up against Yoel Romero. Guys, if Paulo Costa has been training, which I believe he's been training, this is going to be a very, very good fight. I think this fight goes the distance. I actually do believe that this fight goes all 5 rounds, and I think Shane Strickland is going to win this fight, keeping the jab. He just has to avoid the nuclear option, and he has to avoid the low kicks, because Shane Strickland is terrible at checking low kicks. This guy Strickland does not check low kicks at all, and that's something that Israel wasn't able to capitalize on. He was too busy focusing on leaning back and spamming his hooks. Give me Shane Strickland to win this by decision, 49-46, 49-46, 48-47. I think Shane Strickland's going to put on a masterclass, and I think he's going to be back in title contention. I just think that he's overall way better than Paulo Costa, and I think Paulo Costa's reach disadvantage is really going to be a little bit of a struggle for him, because Shane Strickland will be the longer fighter on the outside. Paulo Costa just has to go to the body, and Shane Strickland does not cover his body that well. The Philly shell's pretty good, but he tends to leave himself susceptible to head clashes and susceptible to things like a left hook, like Alex Pereira got him, because Alex Pereira touched his body up, and then set up the left hook. So Shane Strickland is very open at points, but other than that, he's very defensive, and I think he's more defensive than Paulo Costa. And if Paulo Costa doesn't land a haymaker or land something crazy to establish his power, Shane Strickland should be able to cruise by Paulo Costa, not easily, but cruise by after a hard-fought 25-minute battle. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a late finish, if somebody just late finish, but I don't see an early finish coming on both sides. I think if there's going to be a finish, it's going to be a late finish, but give me Shane Strickland to win this by decision, 48-47. It's going to be a banger fight, banger 5 rounds. The fact that this is 5 rounds makes the better fighter who wins this, the way better fight of the fact that it's 5 rounds. You know, not just 3 rounds. There's no time limit. You know, now we're actually going to get the real winner. Main event time, boys. Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier with a record of 38-0. Islam Makhachev with a record of 25 wins, 1 loss, and 0 draws. Guys, if we look at Dustin Poirier's record, it looks like salt and pepper. The way it's green, red, green, red, green, red. This guy, Dustin Poirier, has never lost 2 times in a row. Even if he loses to Islam Makhachev, he still hasn't lost 2 times in a row. This guy, Dustin Poirier, is a guy who a lot of people didn't expect to get a title shot because Justin Gaethje was expected to beat Max Holloway, and he was expected to be next in line. But Dustin Poirier steps up after beating Benoit Saint-Denis a month and 3 weeks ago. He had an amazing performance. He jumped the ghillie, was playing around, playing with his food, playing with Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis had staph infection. A lot of people try to blame the Benoit Saint-Denis had staph infection. And I heard somebody say that Dustin Poirier's win over BSD was a fluke. You're an absolute idiot, bro, if you think BSD was going to beat Dustin Poirier, bro. Bro, BSD is good. BSD is good. But you cannot say that Dustin Poirier's win over BSD was a fluke. Dustin Poirier was playing with his food. I don't care if he had staph infection or not. BSD loses to Dustin the Diamond, bro. Dustin the Diamond has been a junkyard dog fighting the top contenders. I can name 5 people that Dustin Poirier that has beat that Benoit Saint-Denis cannot beat. And not only that, like not only MMA math, but also the barrage of hooks. The way Dustin Poirier is able to drop his hands, pick up his shorts, land a left, move his head. His head movement's better. He's not just running in and shooting for a blind takedown like Benoit Saint-Denis was. Benoit Saint-Denis was very eager to finish the fight because he thought a guy like Dustin Poirier would give up the rear naked choke. Dustin Poirier did give up his back against him. He did show that he lost the first round, but it looked like Dustin Poirier was playing with his food for me. It looked like he was way better than BSD, and he was the way better fighter that night, and there was no way BSD was winning that night. Islam Makhachev, on the other hand, beat prime Volkanovski, prime Charles Oliveira, Bobby Green, and Dan Hooker. He submitted Dan Hooker, crazy run to the title. He beat Oliveira for the title. Beat Alexander Volkanovski to defended a second time against Volkanovski when Oliveira pulled out, and KO'd prime Volkanovski. Arguably, he could be the reason for Volkanovski's downfall, but we all have a downfall at one point. We break down the fight. Russia, champion from Russia, versus the challenger from the United States, Coconut Creek, Florida. ATT trains with Grant Dawson, trains with Armin Saryukian, trains with a lot of people. If it's Dustin who's not going to give him a good run, it's a guy like Armin. A lot of people who come from American Top Team are very good, man. It's a very good team. Islam Makhachev, 32 years old. He's very young. Dustin Poirier is 35 years old, almost 36. Lightweight division, 5'10 to 5'9, 70-inch reach to 73. Guys, call me biased. Call me whatever you want to call me, bro. Call me, this, that, this guy's picks suck, this, that. You guys saw my breakdown on Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Who did I have? I had Dustin Poirier to win that fight the entire week. Dustin Poirier's stonewall defense. Dustin Poirier's great dirty boxing. Dustin Poirier's great in the pocket striking. The only thing is, if Dustin gets a little cocky and he jumps the ghillie, he's going to get finished by a rear naked choke. Islam Makhachev is going to be a massive favorite. He's going to be a minus 500, minus 600. Guys, give me Dustin Poirier to win this fight. His third shot at the title. Give me Dustin Poirier to knock out Islam Makhachev. No. I'm not going by knockout. I think he can win this by unanimous decision. Call me crazy. Call me an idiot. Call me whatever. I got Dustin Poirier to win this by unanimous decision. I know everybody's going to be on Islam. I know Guru, all these guys are going to be on Islam. If I'm going for a junkyard dog, and if I'm going for a guy who's overall better, and a guy who can definitely capitalize on Islam striking, and a guy who's not going to get hit by a little head kick that's set up to the body, Islam Makhachev has very good teeps to the body. The clinch where he throws the knees in the clinch, and then he throws, and then he caught Volkanovski by setting him up, by touching him to the body, and then the head kick. He threw the head kick very early in that fight against Volkanovski. He was already prepared to throw that head kick. He was already knowing that Volkanovski has a tendency to block head kicks with just one hand, and that's how Max Holloway caught him, and Islam Makhachev capitalized on it. Excuse me. Very long breakdown for this fight. Very long breakdown for this fight. Dustin Poirier, when it goes to 5 rounds, when it comes to 5-round wars against Dan Hooker, when it comes to 5-round wars against, not even 5-round wars, let's just say Max Holloway, when he went to war against Max Holloway, when he goes to war against Conor McGregor, when he goes to war, I know these are majority strikers, but when it comes to a junkyard fight and it comes to a barn fight of who's gonna drop more blood. Let's meet in the middle. Let's do the man dance and let's fight. Come on, you want to keep on shooting down takedowns on me? A guy who can definitely capitalize on a guy who's just gonna keep on shooting. A guy who's fought somebody exactly like Islam Makhachev, Khabib Nurmagomedov. He got submitted by Khabib and he cried after his first title shot. It is amazing. I don't know if that was his first title shot. Let's actually look into it. Let's look into it. Sorry about this. So his title shot, so his first title shot was against Khabib, his second title shot was against Charles Oliveira, and his third title shot was against Islam Makhachev. He has gotten submitted in his last 2 title shots. He will not get submitted again. Islam Makhachev said that he had something up his sleeve. He wants to go for a knockout. I know Islam Makhachev wants to knock him out. He doesn't want to just submit Dustin Poirier like everybody else does. And the fact that Islam Makhachev is going to look for something fancy is what's going to lead him to sell this fight. Islam Makhachev takes way too long in between fights. I don't care who you are. This is one of the most inactive champions. Fought 6 months and 1 month ago. Who am I to say? Call me an Islam hater. But this guy used an IV after Australia. He used an IV for a less than 24-hour rehydration clause against Volkanovski in Perth, and nobody talks about it no more. Islam Makhachev, when he's on, he could KO Dustin Poirier, but give me Dustin the Diamond Poirier because he always shows up. And when there's a diamond in the rut, pressure creates diamonds, guys. Give me Dustin Poirier to win this fight by unanimous decision, and he even drops Islam Makhachev. If you guys like this video, guys, drop a like, comment your favorite dog, and let me know what you guys think about my picks. Am I in the right headspace? Am I a little crazy? Am I crazy for picking the junkyard dog? I love Dustin Poirier, one of my favorite fighters. Don't call me biased because I watched a lot of footage. I actually do believe that Dustin Poirier can win this fight. Give me Dustin Poirier to win this fight by decision, unanimous, 49-46, 48-47. It might even be split. But just because it's in New Jersey, the fans are going to be on his side. Everybody's going to be inside. This is the first time that Islam Makhachev doesn't have the hometown advantage, and he's not fighting in his hometown in Abu Dhabi where he could cheat. This guy Islam Makhachev, he even cheated when he went to Perth. When he went to Australia, he used an IV. You're not allowed to use an IV. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Dan Hooker just said that. He just said that out of nowhere. He didn't actually use an IV." If you don't believe that Islam Makhachev used an IV for the less than the 24-hour rehydration clause, and he performed like that, you're crazy, bro. There's a reason why Islam Makhachev didn't look that good when he fought outside of his hometown. Give me Dustin Poirier to win this by decision, guys. Drop a like on the video, guys. Call me biased, call me whatever, guys. I know a lot of people are going to be heavy on Islam, but if I see a dog and his name is Dustin Poirier, I'm taking him. Drop a like, guys. Follow me on Twitter, guys. Thank you guys for all the love that you guys have been giving me, guys. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys enjoy the fights, guys. See you guys in the next one. The best is blessed, baby. Peace.